everyone, welcome back to HS Academy. The target structure for today's video is going to. Going to is another English tense that we're going to master. Let's look at the meaning of this structure. There are two meanings for the structure. Let's look at the meaning one. There are two meanings, here's the first. Look at this example. We are going to visit Paris next month. We're going to see Eiffel Tower. The words in green color indicate that something is decided. It means that this person intends to do this in the future and is a plan that the person definitely wants to happen. Think of this meaning as a future plan, something that is definitely, 100% going to happen in the future. Here's an example. Next month I'm going to visit Italy. Why did I use going to visit? Because it's a future plan. I planned to visit Italy because I've booked the flight, I've paid for the flight, I booked the hotel, paid for the hotel, and I've planned all my trip in Italy. So I can say I'm definitely going to visit Italy. In this case I use going to. I'm going to visit Italy next month. When I say this, the listener knows it's definitely going to happen. So that's meaning one. Let's look at the second meaning. Look at the gray sky. It's going to rain soon. So the words in green color indicate that something is going to happen in the future. We have some evidence and we believe that something is going to happen in the future. That's meaning two. It's very similar to meaning one in that it's talking about the future, something is going to happen in the future. But there's a difference. Meaning one is something that I planned, I arranged myself, but meaning two is something that's just happening elsewhere, but based on some evidence, based on something that I can see, I guess something is going to happen in the future. It's a prediction. In my view, I can see that this is going to happen. So if I look up at the sky and I see lots of dark clouds, gray-black clouds, what is going to happen in the future? I guess it's going to rain. This is my guess, my prediction for the future. Another example might be if I see a man climbing a broken ladder. This is a very dangerous situation. What do I think is going to happen in the future? I can say he's going to fall off and hurt himself. Based on the evidence the ladder is broken, it looks very dangerous, I think he's going to fall and hurt himself. So in this case I can use going to. Now it's time to see the structure for going to. Let's have a look. Here is the positive structure. The first structure is, I, plus, am, plus, going to, plus, a basic verb, like walk, see, visit and go. So when you use I, always use the verb, am. For he, she and it we use, is, plus, going to, plus, a basic verb. And for we, you and they, we use are, plus, going to, plus, a basic verb. For example, she is going to study hard to become a doctor. Here is the negative structure. We simply add not to the structure. I, plus, am, plus, not, plus, going to, plus, a basic verb. It sounds very long and complex but it's actually quite simple. For he, she and it, we use, is, plus, not, plus, going to, plus, a basic verb. And for we, you and they, we use are, plus, not, plus, going to, plus, a basic verb. For example, we aren't going to see Dad this week because he's on a business trip. And finally here is the question structure. So the question structures are like this. Is, plus, he, she, it, plus, going to, plus, a basic verb. And we use are, for we, you, they, plus, going to, plus, a basic verb. For example, are you going to tidy your room soon? I asked you twice already. Now it's time to move on to the things that we need to note. Here are a few things to note when using going to. We are going to focus on the contractions when using going to. Let's have a look. Note that we often contract the subject and the verb to be. The verb to be is, am, is, and are, when using going to. For example, I am going to contracts to I'm going to. For example, instead of saying, I am going to visit Italy next month, you can simply say, I'm going to visit Italy next month. So you can contract I and am. When you use he, she and it with going to, you can contract the subject with is. So you can say, he's going to, she's going to, or it's going to. For example, he's going to visit Japan. She's going to go swimming. Or, it's going to fall. And when you use we, you or they, are going to, you can contract these two, we're going to, you're going to, or they're going to. When using the negative we can also contract some words. When you use the subject, I, we can say, I'm not going to. Similar to the positive, contract I and am. With the other subjects we have two options. Have a look at these. For he, she, and it, is not going to, we can either contract he and is, to become he's not, or we can contract is and not to become he isn't. For example, he's not going to visit Japan. Or, he isn't going to visit Japan. So the two options mean the same thing. Similarly we can say, she's not or she isn't going to, it's not or it isn't going to. And it's very similar with we, you and they are not going to. We can contract we and are, or we can contract are and not, when using we. For example, we're not going to or, we aren't going to. With you, we use you're not or you aren't going to. And they're not or they aren't going to. That's the only thing you need to note for going to. So use these contractions in your spoken English. They make you sound much more fluent and much more natural. Instead of saying every single word, I am not going to go to school today, contract I and am. I'm not going to go to school today. So it makes you sound really fluent and natural. Now let's have a look on the example sentences for the structure, going to. Some species of animal are down to the last few. They are going to become extinct soon. Are you going to visit your parents tonight? This t-shirt is really poor quality. I'm going to return it to the shop I bought it from. I think you boys should stop playing football on this dangerous road. You are going to hurt yourselves. Julie ate some bad food yesterday. She's going to vomit. Your kids are going wild. They are going to be worn out later. Are you ready for the World Cup final today? It's going to be such an exciting match. Your presentation is next Friday, right? What are you going to talk about? China is getting richer and richer. It's going to be a huge power in the coming years. I finally reached my saving target. I'm going to buy a nice new car this weekend. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, comment and don't forget to subscribe HS Academy.